weekly battle with this thing. It never does what I want it to do and when I want it to do it. I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do this week. But anyway, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Gracious and most loving God, we thank you for this wonderful Sunday, these wonderful people, and for this wonderful church. We ask you to continue to send your spirit in this place. That the sermon truly touch each and every one of us, that it means something to us, that it molds us in the way that you would have it mold us. We ask you to just walk with us. In your son's name we pray. Amen. So today we'll start this series that I'm going to do called Return Home. I thought it would be fitting to begin it since it's Homecoming Sunday. And we will look today at probably the most famous passage about returning home, which is the parable of the prodigal son. Now, this takes place in the book of Luke, in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 through 32. And it is on page 797 in your Pew Bible. If you don't want to keep flipping and everything, we'll give you a little cheat sheet. You can just go straight to it on 797. It reads on this wise. Jesus said, a certain man had 2 sons. The young son said to the father, Father, give me my share of the inheritance. Then the father divided his estate between them. Soon afterward, the younger son gathered everything together and took a trip to a land far away. There he wasted his wealth through extravagant living. When he had used up his resources, a severe food shortage arose in that country and began to be in need. He hired himself out to one of the citizens in that country who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. He longed to eat his fill from what the pigs ate, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, How many of my father's hired hands have more than enough food, but I'm starving to death? I will get up and go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Take me on as one of your hired hands. So he got up and he went to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was moved with compassion. His father ran to him, hugged him, and kissed him. His son said, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Quickly bring out the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Fetch the fattened calf and slaughter it. We must celebrate with feasting because this son of mine was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and is found, and they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field, coming in from the field. He approached the house and heard the music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked, What was going on? The servant replied, Your brother has arrived, and your father has slaughtered the fatted calf because he received his son back safe and sound. Then the older son was furious and didn't want to enter in. But his father came out and begged him. He answered his father, Look, I've served you all these years, and I've never disobeyed your instruction. Yet you've never given me as much as a young goat so I can celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours returned, after gobbling up your estate on prostitutes, you slaughtered the fatted calf for him. Then his father said, Son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found. This is the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
When people preach this passage, it's often from the perspective of a person who has left the faith, sinned, and has returned home. However, I want to look at this passage as a passage about just simply returning home. First of all, what do I mean by it? In most obvious sense, going along with today, we would say the church home, but this could be a sermon about many things in returning home. It could be about humbling oneself, reconnecting with family, reconnecting with friends, or so many more instances of reconnection. In the parable, we are introduced to the prodigal son, or the wasteful son, who decided it's time that he leave, the proverbial nest. This is something that all of us had to do at one time or another. It's what our parents have prepared us for. It's something that we all know we have to do, and it's scary, but it's necessary. We all have to leave to do different things. Some to go to school, some to go to work. Some have no idea why they are leaving. They just know they want to get out of their parents' house. This son essentially left his parents' house to party, which is honestly why a lot of us leave the house. It's not the reason I left, but it's certainly the reason I stayed away at one point or didn't come home. The point is that we all have different reasons for leaving. But here this son ran into extreme hard times. He spent all his money, ran up all his credit card bills, lost his job, lost his friends, probably got an email from a Nigerian prince and decided to give him his bank account information, just different things like that. Whatever happened, it happens to so many of us, but it happened to him. Because of that, he had to lower himself to the lowest of low situations in order to simply survive. As many of us know, pigs in Jewish culture is seen as unclean. So to feed them would have been unheard of for someone on the social level of the prodigal son. It would have been a high and mighty, it would have been kind of like a lawyer's son or the son of a CEO, think like a Kardashian or something. Somebody really rich and famous who now has to clean gutters or clean sewers out. Something that most would think is kind of beneath them. Not only was he having to feed the pigs, but he began to look at the food that the pigs were eating and wish that he could eat their food. But at the same time, I don't know, because maybe that's not as bad as it sounds. I know many people who, the way they feed their dogs and treat their dogs, he might have been eating steak or something like that. How people treat their animals, but maybe the pigs were eating better than we think. But anyway, we notice it took until the son got to his lowest point, until he decided to humble himself down and come back to those who loved him. He came home not in his best state, not as he left with a nice robe and a ring and sandals on his feet and high and mighty, but he came back probably stinking from being out there with those pigs and stinking from being out in the hot sun, not smelling good. He came back barefoot, probably dirty and all. But with that, he was welcomed back home by his father. Covered in filth, covered in slime. As soon as his father saw him from far away, he got excited and embraced him, probably ran to him, told people to clean him up, go get him a nice robe, go get him a ring, go get him sandals. And I know to us a ring doesn't sound that significant. We're like, why would a father give his son a ring? But back at that time, if you were the head of a household, you had what they call a signet ring. And pretty much it meant you could speak on the behalf of your father, you could speak on behalf of your house, you kind of dip it in ink and you would stamp it on something, and it was kind of the sign of your household, but it meant you were somebody important enough to speak on behalf. So putting on this robe and putting on those sandals and giving him that ring gives him power and authority. He went from being the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, and as soon as he returned to his family, his father reinstated him right back into the position that he was in. So often we're scared and nervous and unsure about attempting to get back to the people who would do anything to have us home. The same as this father who did not look at his son as someone who wasted his wealth, did not look at his son as someone who did not do the things that he was supposed to do, did not look at his son as less than, but looked at his son with love, with understanding, with compassion, and understood we all mess up. We all don't do the things that we were supposed to do. We all don't live the lives that we're supposed to, but we welcome you back with love. In this story, his father was just like the people who love us so much, or love us as much as you can love a person. We earlier had stories from the church, from the members of the church, about how much this church has meant. How the church has filled them with love and has loved them throughout the years, how they grew up here as children, how the people who've been throughout their life, they've known them for so many years. It's the same thing with this son. In the same way many have left and came back, the son left and came back and was welcomed back by his father with open arms. Now, in this parable, the father represents our Father, God Almighty. Him welcoming us back after we turn away from him and we run back to him with open arms. But I would also like to in this case, look at it as catch. That as many have left off to go do things in the world, have left off to go have careers, have left off to go form families, have maybe just fallen off because sometimes it's hard to get up on Sunday mornings. Trust me, I know I was supposed to be here at like 9:15 and didn't wake up till like 9:30. Sometimes it's hard on Sunday mornings. Sometimes it's hard to get here, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. A person can be gone for years, can be gone for decades, but as long as these doors are open, we will welcome you back just as the Father welcomed back his Son. With that love of a Father, that love of God, that love of a church family. A family that is so tight-knit that, to be honest, when I first got here, I wasn't sure who was married to who. Everybody would make jokes about everybody and poke fun at each other and everything, and I was like, I don't know if this person's married to that person, how they talk to each other, or whatever, but it was because of that